This is Club 501, brought to you by William Hill, hosted by me, Wayne Mardle. Now, I'm going to be talking to stars of sports and entertainment, just having a general chit-chat and having fun. If you would like to be an honorary member, please like and subscribe.
Sometimes you find that you can't speak.
Yeah, you can't speak.
You know, because you're overtaken by events.
Yeah.
Like, this is the greatest leg of darts you will ever see in your life.
In your life. Yeah, I can't speak,
You couldn't script that, could you? Lots of people think they've got the best job in the world, and the players probably have.
Yeah.
But it's the next best thing. It's fantastic. Every minute I wake up and then think, God, this is great, isn't it?
You could be made to look a genius here.
It's more like I've been made to look a mug. At some point, Lloyd was losing, and I said, Colin Lloydson must feel like a German vegetarian. And he looked at me quizzically, and I went, he fears the worst.
That's pathetic.
Barry Hearn said about the Circus Tavern, I walked in, I can smell money. I walk in there, I can smell darts. Luke Littler, great as he's been so far, Premier League winner, won the Grand Slam in sensational style.
Yeah.
In the end, if he doesn't win world titles, how will he be judged?
100%.
Dudbridge is winning, I'm getting excited. Anyway, so he's getting close to winning, and I shout, come on, Mark, send this circus clown packing. Anywhere on the board.
Aim for the balls.
And the Peyton Express is derailed.
This is what I've been hoping for. With me today, Rodri. Or is it Edward? Anyway, Edward Rodri Stud. No one knows you as Edward because you don't use that name. Anyway, Edward Rodri Stud. It's a pleasure, Mab.
What is this? This is your life?
It's a pleasure, Mab, and we'll get into Mab later.
It's a great thrill to be on the Wayne Mardle show.
Mardle.
Glad to be here.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Right.
I'm excited.
Why? Why are you excited?
Well, it's a great thrill, isn't it? I'm on a long list of superstars: Sir Kevin Simfield, Michael Smith, Wolfie Martin Adams, Dennis Priestley.
You'll be signing that later. Right. Look, it's my pleasure. It really is. We are now colleagues, friends, all that. But today, we're kind of. I want to get to know you. I don't want everyone else to get to know you. So, how did you get involved in darts?
Well,
what was your first foray into the darting world?
Well, I've loved watching darts since the first glory days. The first great era of darts: Eric Bristow, Jockey Wilson, John Lowe, all those people, Keith Deller. So I watched it in the 80s, and then became a fan. Went to venues, went to watch darts. Winter Gardens, used to go with Pikey every year to the Winter
Stuart
Gardens.
Pike.
Yes.
Stuart Pike.
Yes, a.k.a. Pikey. Even his mother calls him Pikey. Yes, but we used to go there, and then got a chance to join the Sky Sports commentary team in 2009. A chap called Dave Clark rang, who I knew from Capital Radio, said, do you fancy doing some darts commentary? Took me about a nanosecond, and I said yes.
Right.
So I did the UK Open in 2009, and then carried on doing it. Yeah, World Championship, first one was 2010. I think my first commentary, you might remember the game. You may have forgot it, obliterated from your memory. It was a match between Wayne Mardle and Yihan Artot.
Oh, why are you bringing that? It's too early for this. Well, look, you've commentated on a few of my games. It's not about me. This is about you.
Yeah, that was.
I don't want to talk about.
Commentating on that was more of an endurance test than a darts match, but. I mean, it was horrible, as you remember.
It was horrible, but
I'll tell you what was also horrible, your purple shirt. I mean, I'm the proud owner of an original, I think it may be signed to devalue it, Wayne Mardle dart shirt, the original and best, the blue Hawaiian one.
The 100% polyester.
Yeah, it's superb.
Oh.
And also, I think I have the orange one. But by then, for some reason, you decided to turn up in this pallid purple attire.
That was how I felt at the time.
Yeah, I know, but it was drab, wasn't it?
It was. The end was nigh.
Yeah, I think I commentated as such, saying the shirt was an indicative of what was going on in your mind.
Right. Anyway, what do you enjoy about darts?
That didn't put me off. That didn't put me off, and I carried on ploughing on, and have been commentating on it ever since. Not on you, but with you, and that's been great fun.
Oh, you enjoyed something.
I do enjoy it, yes.
Right. Now, we're going to have a bit of a chuck and a chat. Your darting ability is poor. I know this.
Oh,
it's worse than mine. It's worse than mine, which is saying something right now. But what I want
people will say it's something to do with the fact I was ill 4 years ago, but I couldn't throw before then. So it's got nothing to do with that.
Yeah, 100%. We will chat about your health if that's okay. But this is kind of everyone getting to know you, but also we'll chat about the Worlds as well, because this will go out roughly in the middle of it ish. Now, what I do want to know is, you mentioned your ability to throw or not be able to throw.
Woeful.
When you first picked them up, was there any natural talent to be a sportsman, where I'm getting at? Because you love sport, you commentate on sport, you talk about sport, you watch sport. Can you play it? Any sport?
I could play a bit of cricket.
Can you?
Yeah, I've got a high score of 104 not out at cricket. I could play a bit of left back at football when I was at school, but
left back in the changing room.
Very good, yeah. I didn't have in any way the natural talent required, or on top of that, any way near the dedication.
Right.
Not good enough and couldn't be bothered. It's not the ideal combination for a sportsman, is it? So
lazy man.
I deduced very early on in the piece that I was never going to be good enough to play at any kind of level. Right. So then I thought, I like watching it so much, maybe I could talk about it.
Right.
So then I just sort of started to think I could maybe be a commentator and sort of recorded myself commentating on school football matches and stuff to start with. But
did you end up commentating on darts? Like, joking. Right. So can you actually aim? Can you aim?
I can't. I played a bit at college, at uni, and I wasn't too bad, but whatever limited ability I had then is completely disappeared.
Right. Okay. Right. I'll have a few darts, because we're going to have what is the chuck and a chat. Yeah. Right. Now I need you to open up to these invasive questions, because this is journalism of the highest calibre. Right. Right. Yeah. Okay.
This is like the Jeremy Paxman of darts now, is it?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right.
Right. Are you ready for a throw?
Yeah. Right.
Good man. So, Rodri, as I affectionately call you.
Yeah.
We've got to clear this up for viewers that know Mab.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Right, Mab is something that, I don't know who started it out the pair of us, but we were texting each other.
It was involuntarily started by an Apple iPhone, wasn't it?
Correct, yeah. It was, how are you, man, that come up Mab for some odd reason.
Yeah, it auto-corrected to Mab from Matt.
Yeah, auto-corrected it, yes. And then it was a case of whenever you typed in man, it come up Mab. Then,
but nobody to this day knows why or what that is. Why did the phone do that? What is Mab?
I have no idea. But then it changed its MO, didn't it?
Yeah.
Now, when we type in Mab, it actually comes up man.
Yeah.
So effectively, Mab is just a typo. It's an intended typo.
Yeah.
But we now have a following on Twitter that use the term Mab all the time.
The Mab pack.
The Mab pack, yeah. And we are, well, I think you probably started it because you...
Those that know about it, don't they? They're in the Mab pack and they kind of get it and they play along with it.
Yes. And there's got to be a dozen of us now.
At least. But... we have been known to lapse into it in commentary, haven't we? When the our former boss, Rory Hopkins, used to warn us about it, didn't it? Can you stop saying that word?
Yeah.
What word? We just pretended we were doing it involuntarily, didn't we?
Mab. The first time I said it in commentary, I said Mab, and then said to you in commentary, I said Mab. This is like live darts. It's like, what on earth are we doing? So
this is professional sport.
Yeah, professional sport. And talking of professional sport, right? So you I was just going to. We have these things that go on in our lives that are just like mental. It's a nonsense in commentary. It's a nonsense in life, and it spills over, doesn't it? Like these things that we chat about. And what I do want to ask is, in commentary, a lot of people think that a lot of it's kind of scripted and stuff. It couldn't be further from the truth, could it? It's a lot of it is just so reactionary.
I was once told that you should disengage your brain and open your mouth, and that is what I have tended to do.
Yes.
Some of
you've done it very well.
Thank you very much. Some of it is scripted, in terms of ends of matches that you have in your head. This is what I'm going to say if player X wins or player Y wins. But you can be overtaken by events very quickly, can't you? Yeah. And sometimes you find that you can't speak.
Yeah, you can't speak.
Because you're overtaken by events.
Yeah.
This is the greatest leg of darts you will ever see in your life.
In your life. Yeah, I can't speak.
You couldn't script that, could you?
You don't know that's going to happen.
Of course not.
You don't know that's going to happen. But what I want to say about your commentary, obviously it started years ago. Forget darts for a minute. Where did it start and what sport?
Yeah, I started commentating on football in 1989.
So not rugby league first?
No, football. 1989, when I was at the Radio Air in Leeds. You'd have to be pretty old to remember that. But 1989, when Leeds United had a football team, and they won the league.
They've still got one.
Yeah, but they had a real football team then. Gary Speed, David Batty, Gary McAllister, Gordon Strack, and Lee Chapman. They were good. So they won the league in 1992, and I was commentating on that season. So it was good days, great times. Yeah.
So football. So
that's
when
I started. Yeah.
Okay. And how long did you do that for?
Till 98, 99.
Oh wow.
Then I joined Sky Sports News. Then I came on to the darts. Oh, I did some rugby league, and then the darts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because is rugby league? Was it your first passion?
No, I wouldn't say so. I just kind of decided I needed to do something in the summer when I'd left Radio Air. In the winter I was doing a lot of still a lot of football stuff for Sky Sports News, and then I thought, what can I do in the summer? Rugby league, because I'd done some rugby league for Radio Air, then went down and did rugby league for Sky as well, so it fitted in nicely with the football I was doing in the winter.
Right.
And then I started doing the darts in 2009.
When you was at university, was sports journalism the plan? Because you also did politics. You studied politics.
I studied politics. Yeah.
Why would you? Why? What's the point?
I'm an expert in politics. I'm an expert in most things, as you know.
You are an expert. He's an expert in everything. He tells me all this nonsense.
So I don't know. I was interested in it back in those days. I just found it fascinating. So I did that at uni. Yeah. But at uni, I did student radio and student newspapers. And the student radio, you won't be surprised to learn it was just a carry-on. It was just one caper after another. We did a show called Concept Radio where it had live, in inverted commas, sport, which was stuff we'd recorded. So there was live pinball, which we'd recorded in one of the halls where we were playing pinball. We recorded all the sounds of it buzzing and beeping and the flippers going, and commentated on it, pretending this was live.
So it was nonsense.
Yeah, live pool. Then we had a Grand Prix round the university grounds. Right, so one of my mates had a car. We got in that. He revved the engine a bit, and we took a recording device in. I sat in the passenger seat, and we're coming to the chicane. And it was complete nonsense. Lap 7
So
now.
This is what you did at university?
That's what we did at university, yeah. How we got away with it, I've got no idea. But we did for 3 years. And then I came to work in Radio Air in Leeds.
So the sports side of it was never really a thing then?
I didn't play. No. Real sport?
No, the commentary, the sports commentary.
The mock sports commentary was a thing.
Yeah.
But
then
come to think of it, we didn't do darts. I don't know why, because with the darts boards up, we could have done that. It was, yeah, I don't know why. But anyway, no, the mock sports commentary was a thing. The real sports commentary started when I went to work for Radio Air.
Right, okay. And then you get into darts commentary, as we know, and we have to bring up was it your finest moment or the moment that you're fondly remembered for, which is Fallon Sherrock smashing the glass ceiling? That is a piece of commentary that is... It's synonymous with Fallon.
Yeah.
Because every time Fallon comes on, there's a promo. It's your voice. You must be proud of you. Look, you nailed it.
Well, I mean,
for the first time ever.
I'd heard the thank you very much. I heard the expression somewhere along the way. It's about women bridging the pay gap with men. So I'd heard the expression, and I knew vaguely that it might fit in well if Fallon Sherrock beat a man 10 minutes as it happened at the World Championship, which she did. So I thought, I'm going to say it and hope it's appropriate. And it kind of worked. So it's been good, but then it got usurped by I Can't Spake when somebody came out with that. So,
but that wasn't even mine. That was Mick Morgan's. I just run with it. That's all I did.
Well, I didn't invent Smashes the Glass Ceiling. Somebody must have said it somewhere.
Yeah, but it's yours. It's yours.
I should have copyrighted it, shouldn't I?
Have you sat in the commentary box with, not necessarily with me, and thought, what a way to earn a living? This is just an incredible. It's an incredible. Look, I love the sport, as we know, and you do too. You just love sport in general. But you're sitting there, and it's like we do feel we're immersed at times.
Yeah, and I think that about 5 or 6 times every day. It's just thinking, what is going on here?
Yeah.
As I said to you before, not good enough to play, not got the dedication to play.
Yeah.
And yet I'm sat in there in the best seat in the house, watching the game with a mate.
Yeah.
Well, and with you sometimes as well. Yeah. But sitting in there watching the game, sometimes it's the same, isn't it? We sit in a bar or in the press room watching a game, and it's the same commentary.
It's the same commentary.
And then we go and do it in the commentary box.
But that's what I meant by the nonsense that we spout.
And it's just, how is this happening?
Yeah.
you know, I mean, people talk about, you know, the best job in the world. Everyone, lots of people think they've got the best job in the world, and the players probably have.
Yeah.
But it's the next best thing. It's fantastic, and you know, every minute I wake up and then think, God, this is great, isn't it?
But not every game is enjoyable, is it? There are some. We've worked hard before.
Hold on, let me just think of
I'm sure we worked hard once.
Before I came on the Wayne Mardle show, I looked back.
Mardle.
Before I came on, I looked at all the World Finals that had been in the time I've been commentating, and one of them I thought, God, that was hard work. Can you guess which one? It was the first final we did together, the World Championship. You might remember it. It was the one where Adrian Lewis retained his title against Andy Hamilton. And it was a game that Lewis was so obviously going to win almost from the get-go.
I'm going to have a chuck. Yes.
You know, he was in front from the start, and there was never a moment when you thought Andy Hamilton could get back into it. And it meandered along at a very sedate pace.
Yeah.
It was a really slow tempo, which is rather strange considering it was Lewis Hamilton.
Hey!
But it was a very slow and sedate match that just drifted along, meandered to an almost inevitable conclusion, and Lewis won. But that was hard work. I remember that final. It was hard work.
So that was our first final together?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, I did some work in the final of the year before, which was Lewis Anderson, when...
What was your...
When there was the 9-darter, Adrian Lewis. I did that with Sid, and that was a great... That was a big thrill.
When was your first commentary with Sid? Do you remember? Can you recall?
Yes. I did a game at the Match Play when I was just starting off. The first Match Play I did was 2009, and I did a game with Sid, who'd already sort of taken me under his wing and given me some advice on what to do. And so I went and did this game, and it was Colin Lloyd against someone, and I can't remember who. But I just thought, right, I'm going to have to think of some one-liners because Sid will do that.
Yeah.
So at some point, Lloyd was losing, and I said, Colin Lloyd, Sid, must feel like a German vegetarian. And he looked at me quizzically, and I went, he fears the worst.
That's pathetic.
It was pathetic. It was pathetic. And when I said it, I thought, that's pathetic. But Sid, in inimitable style, came back, as he frequently did, and said, I wish I'd said that.
Right,
it was one of his favourite lines, wasn't it? If you said something good, he would say, I wish I'd said that.
Yeah.
So I thought, it's all right. I mean, and Sid, I take this from Sid as well, because every time you sat in the commentary with Sid, before it started, he would say to you, enjoy it, kid. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And, you know, I sit down and still think of that when we start a game, because enjoy yourself. Yeah. Enjoy it, kid. Because it is that, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and it's always great fun. Even if the match is poor.
I only worked with Sid sort of 2 or 3 times. Yeah. The last time was Newcastle Premier League, and obviously his front door, effectively.
Yeah.
What I took from Sid personally was he used to say enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And thought, right, okay. Be yourself and enjoy. That was it.
Yeah. But that's your MO anyway for everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, whether it's commentary, presenting on the stage with Emma and Mark, doing an exhibition, doing your dart school. That's your MO, isn't it? Enjoy it.
It has to be that, 'cause that way you can do it well.
Yes, I agree.
But what I've only realised recently, and maybe you kind of realise the same, is that we were so lucky to work with the legendary Sid Waddell.
Yeah. And I had the pleasure of working with John Gwynn and Dave Lanning as well.
Of course.
You know, the other 2 members of the Holy Tungsten Trinity, Sid, Dave, and John, who you know are the ones that is the benchmark for everything.
And those 2 can go under the radar at times, and they should not be forgotten about because Lanning, what a broadcaster and just a voice, and John Gwynn, even into his last days, bless him, he was doing commentary for the World Seniors.
Oh,
just absolutely loved
fantastic broadcasters.
Yeah.
Great fun to be working with and be alongside.
Yeah, and going kind of all the way back then, did you envisage that darts would become this?
Who could?
What on earth has happened?
Who could? I mean, look, I'm old enough to remember going into the Circus Tavern and watching Wayne Mardle play Colin Lloyd and Mark Dudbridge. And
you have some memory.
Yeah, a memory of backing Mark Dudbridge to get to the final of the World Championship that year and him beating Wayne Mardle in the semi-final.
Hold on.
What a night that was.
Yeah, but what did you say? Right, now, this is outrageous, right? So, bearing in mind, we know each other, we're friends, right?
It didn't end
Anyway,
so Dudbridge is in front.
Right.
And I'm getting excited about the bet now. And I may have imbibed. And I'm at the back of the Circus Tavern, and of course this is in Essex, and this is Wayne Mardle's home ground.
Yes.
This is like you go into the Nou Camp supporting Real Madrid.
Yes. You don't brag about it.
You keep your head down, and if Real Madrid score, you just nod, and that's it. Anyway, Dudbridge is winning. I'm getting excited. Anyway, so he's getting close to winning, and I shout, "Come on, Mark, send this circus clown packing." At which point.
I don't know why I'm laughing.
At which point, several big blokes who look quite handy, dressed in Hawaiian shirts, turn round and look quite aggressively at me. And one of them pipes up, "What do you mean, circus clown?" And I went, "Have you seen what this man is attired in?" And his mate then went, "It's a fair point."
It's a fair point, yeah.
So I got away with it, but I thought, crikey, that could have been a bit nasty. Anyway, Dudbridge won, obviously, as you know. Not giving the ending away there.
Right, you're not spoiling anything.
No.
Right, May 2020.
Yes.
There was a horrific lockdown and everything going on.
No, it wasn't a fun time. No.
The worst scenario I'd ever been through kind of happened.
Yeah.
You've made massive strides, and that's the positive, right?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel very good. I wake up every morning and think, this is good, I've woken up.
Yeah.
And you've got to look at it like that. You know, every day, you know, Rob Burrows said it, you know, every day is precious.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm cracking on, I'm enjoying it. I'm glad to be back on the darts, obviously.
Right, you are in commentary getting... You're kind of 99%. It's the 1% you're missing is the 1% that you think maybe you're missing. Do you think?
Yeah, look,
do you
I'm really pleased. I'm very lucky, Wayne. Look, it could have been literally catastrophic.
Yes, it could have been.
You know, I know I'm lucky to be here, and you know, I'm glad to be back, and I'm really enjoying it, and I think I've made a lot of progress.
Yeah,
definitely.
Mrs. Studd deserves a big old pat on the back, and she gets one regularly, I hope.
Yeah,
because.
No, I wouldn't be here without her.
No, indeed.
No question.
Matt.
Yes.
Darts.
Yeah.
What do you make of the phenom, Luke Littler? What do you make of it? Has darts gone from here to there because of him? Is it?
No, it's made a massive difference. The number of people, and just as you mentioned before, the Fallon Sherrock match against Everts, and that catapulted darts, you know, into a stratospheric place, didn't it? All over the world, and she was briefly the most famous darts player in the world, you know, all over the globe. She was doing stuff in America, the UK, all over Europe, and that made a big difference in the number of women and girls playing and watching darts. Now, Littler has driven a whole new dynamic of people watching it, particularly young people. Yeah. You know, I mean, you mentioned Joe and Charlie Studd, they've started insisting on a darts ball going up, and I do the rugby league, and people in the rugby league, players and people on the commentary team in the rugby league on Sky say that their children who are similar ages, you know, 15, 16, have insisted on a board being put up in the garage or in wherever it is, in the kitchen, whatever. And that's all driven by Littler. Yeah. I mean, people talk to me about darts, and you know, in 2019-20, it was how is Fallon getting on, and now it's what about this kid Littler? Yeah. All the time, you know. You mentioned when I was ill, I still go down to the clinic to do rehab, physio and stuff, and you know, the receptionist pipes us. She goes, "I don't watch darts, but what about this kid Littler?" That was like earlier this year. So that's the change. Definitely.
Do you see more teenagers breaking through because of him, basically?
Well, I mean, yes, I said this to Dudbridge like years ago.
Mark Dudbridge.
Yes. In Bolton, when it was UK Open, he used to be there. We were on the balcony watching. I said, "You better get your act together and keep your game up." He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "There's going to be teenagers coming through where they'll be watching this, thinking I can beat this bloke." Yeah. And they'll start taking your titles off you and your money off you.
Those teenagers ended up being James Wade, Adrian Lewis and Michael Smith.
Right, yeah. And
I think you were right.
Yeah, and now that'll be multiplied by manyfold, because now teenagers aren't thinking I can beat this bloke in terms of, you know, whoever it might be, Ron Cross, Luke Humphries, Michael van Gerwen. They're thinking, I could be that bloke. Yes. I want to be that guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That guy from Warrington. And he'll be inspiring all these people coming behind him. But, of course, the double-edged sword that for Luke Littler is they'll want to be taking his titles and money off him in a few years as well. So he'll be minding his back for people now, maybe not even born. Suddenly they're popping up and beating Littler when he's 35. Yeah. If he's still playing the game, let's hope he is.
Well, let's hope he is, yeah. This is going to kind of go out roughly in the middle of the Worlds. Now, it's our best event. We adore it because for the players, there's no more important event ever.
No.
Because as you're immersed in it, it's the most important thing you'll ever be.
Well, it always will be
playing in.
because, and as you know, I mean, I don't have to tell you that in the end,
That's how you judge.
you're judged on world titles. And I caused a big stir by saying Judd Trump at the end of his snooker career will be judged on world titles, and maybe he's not a great yet because he's only won one of them.
Yeah.
But I believe that, and I still believe that in the World Championship.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know, so Luke Littler, great as he's been so far, Premier League winner, won the Grand Slam in sensational style.
Yeah.
In the end, if he doesn't win world titles, how will he be judged?
100%. James Wade is there's always that question mark.
Well, exactly.
That caveat, but he hasn't won a world.
We did a podcast, and you were on it, where the discussion point, Dan Dawson hosted it, and Pikey was on it, Stuart Pike. And the discussion was, who is the greatest darts player of all time? And me and Stuart Pike were unequivocal that it was Phil Taylor. Then some sap piped up that he thought it was Michael van Gerwen.
I was being a contrarian.
No, you weren't. You actually believed it at the time.
I still believe he's thrown better darts than Phil Taylor.
Because
just not for as long.
Because in 2017 he was peerless at the World Championship. Some of the most remarkable things you've ever seen.
That's what I was getting at.
And I remember saying in commentary, he's redefining everything we thought was possible about darts.
Yes,
which he was.
Because that's the sort of thing you can say every now and again. That's quite good.
Which he was, but he hasn't gone on with it. He's only won 3 world titles. I say only.
No, but you're right.
But he's judged against Taylor with 16. And he himself is judged against Barney with 5. I know you could say 4 in the BDO. I understand that.
Who cares?
But
I've literally spoke to Michael van Gerwen, and he is absolutely gutted he's only won 3.
Yeah.
He can't believe he's only won 3.
He may add to it, but as we're talking now, it doesn't seem all that likely that he will.
No.
Whereas in 2017, if you said he'd end up with 3, you'd have got some strange looks, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because it looked like he might be nearer 13 than 3. So I don't know what will happen with Littler. He may go on to win umpteen.
Right. We don't know.
I don't know.
We don't know. In Adrian Lewis, who won in 2011, 2012, would you have said that was the last time he would have won one?
Well, and just to sort of link this with Littler, I remember being in the commentary box with John Gwynn about, let's say, 2009, 10-ish, and Gwynny saying, if anyone can challenge Phil Taylor's record haul, which I think at the time was 14, this could be the man. And I said to him, John, let's wait till he gets to 1 first.
Yes.
He hadn't got to 1 at that point. Yes. He ended up with 2.
Yes.
And then we're talking about it. And so it might seem a little churlish if I were to say that now. Let's wait for Luke Littler to get to 1 first.
No, I'm in full agreement.
Because,
full agreement.
There was a period when, he burst into the tournament last year like some kind of darting messiah.
Yeah.
And, people in the last few weeks have thought he was invincible, and then Humphries beat him.
Yeah.
So maybe he'll win 15.
Yeah.
But Taylor's 16, right? If Littler wins 1 every 2 years, right, which is a good effort, he'd be 49 by the time he catches Phil Taylor. That's how good Taylor's record is, and you played him.
Look, I beat him on one occasion.
Fewer than 1 occasion. People say you only had 1 big win at the World Championship.
But what a win!
But what a win!
Now, this year, what do you expect? What do you expect from the Worlds? Do you expect a Littler Humphries semis?
Not for the first time. Bearing in mind, everyone likes to after time with their bets.
Well,
we're pre-timing.
We're pre-timing.
Right, which is a dangerous game, because by the time people watch it, I could be made to, not for the first time, made to look like rather foolish.
So you could be made to be wrong. So what? I want your opinion. I don't want the odds. Right. Who comes through from the top? Who comes through from the bottom? And what's the result in the final? Because you could be made to look a genius here.
It's more like I've been made to look a mug.
But who cares? Who cares?
Well, when you're used to being made to look a mug, it doesn't feel as bad.
But
when you have a reputation as a soothsayer...
reputation?
Yeah. Some kind of darting Nostradamus.
Right, okay.
Humphries
to beat who in the final?
Gosh, I hope Nyman wins.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I might buy a desert island.
Humphries to beat.
Yeah. Let's go this then. Let's go Humphries to beat Anderson. How do you like those apples?
Right. Well, I've suggested this already.
Have you?
What's the score in the final?
7.
7.
Oh.
7-0? 7-0? Come on now. Gary's better than that. Come on. What do you reckon? Come on.
Let's go 7-6. Do you remember that final we did when Anderson played Taylor in the final 7-6?
Yes.
And Gary's 3 darts fell out, and Phil should have let him have them again.
Yeah, you suggested.
I said.
Right, so Gary Anderson throws 3 darts. The first 2 sit like this, without pushing everything over. Sit like that.
I'll tell you what, if you can replicate this shot with your actually throwing it, then I will be absolutely staggered.
Hold on.
He couldn't replicate it, given 1,000 tries.
Right, I reckon they're precarious enough that I can do this.
Oh, if he does this
Right,
would be
ready?
amazing. This would be more amazing than blowing the dart at the board.
Oh, that wasn't a bad effort. It wasn't. Oh, anyway, they all fell.
25, and he scored 0, didn't he?
So they all fell out. They all fell out. You and I are in
It was
commentary.
the start of the leg, remember?
Hold on, I couldn't care less whether it was the start or the end. Right, so they all fell out. You suggested.
I didn't suggest.
You stated then.
I said, is there a case for Phil Taylor throwing his 3 darts on the floor and saying to Gary, start the leg again out of fair play?
What on earth? It's professional sport. What? Where did you get this nonsense?
It was around the time. It was around the
what
time.
was going on?
It was around the time when football teams, if a goal had been scored, and it should have been like they should have thrown the ball back from the throw. And Arsenal did it against Sheffield United. Leeds did it against Aston Villa. Bielsa said let a goal in.
So what if 1 dart falls out? Do you then only use 2? The opponent used 2? If 2 darts fall out,
Look,
do you then just use 1?
I hadn't gone into the in-depth details, the minutiae.
No.
I just suggested that there was an essence about sportsmen and teams trying to act fairly at the time. And maybe that was a case for Phil Taylor, who pretended he didn't know what happened.
You hadn't thought about it for a second. Don't go down all this nonsense route.
Like you thought he shouldn't have done it.
Right. Anyway, so what I want to ask, do you have a forget worlds? Do you have a favourite game that you've commentated on? Doesn't have to be with me, but surely it's just Grand Slam semi-finals, right?
I like that. Yeah,
with me.
That was great.
It was with me.
It was great fun. But another game with you that I think supersedes that. It is my favourite game.
Supersedes what?
The Lewis Taylor game.
What, in the Grand Slam semi-final 2013?
Yeah. And I'm going to
supersedes.
I'm going to say this: the 2016 game at the World Championship, which is what I call the Rocky Balboa game, when Raymond van Barneveld, who couldn't possibly win against the invincible Michael van Gerwen, and he beat him 4-3.
Wow.
Now, there were only 3 people that night who thought that Raymond van Barneveld could win that game. And two of them were me and you, and luckily the third bloke was Raymond van Barneveld.
Yes.
I mean, that was incredible.
1-2-1, followed by 1-2-1, followed by 1-2-1.
But what a game. I mean, the whole scenario, the narrative around it was just brilliant. It was Rocky Balboa stuff. It was like a film. This bloke, this old champion, he gets in the ring with a guy who's going to knock him out in a round. Yeah. In fact, he's probably going to physically hurt him. And he beats him.
And also the narrative is that Michael's well overtaken Raymond as the top Dutch player by this point.
And he's odds on to win the title already in the last 16.
He was odds on to win the event.
Yeah, in the last 16.
Yes.
And he was that dominant, and Barneveld beat him, and he beat him fair and square with a sensational display of big finishes.
So is that your favourite game?
Yeah, I love that game.
Really?
I enjoy watching it back. Yeah.
Do you know what's really sad from my point of view? I'd kind of forgot that a little. I haven't now. Now you've mentioned it to me.
I just thought it was just a great night, and it was really enjoyable commentary. I thought the commentary was good.
I thought I was excellent.
Yeah, you were.
I don't really recall your input.
I thought I rode shotgun very well and allowed you to sort of steer the stagecoach magnificently.
Is there a tournament that it doesn't have to be the Worlds? Look, my favourite tournament is the match play. I love it. What's your favourite event to work? Call it work. What's your favourite event to work on?
I love the match play. As I mentioned before, I used to go there with Stuart Pike.
Yes, Pikey.
His
mum calls him Pikey.
Does she really?
Yes, she does.
And, I used to enjoy going. I love the Winter Gardens, and I love walking into it. When I was coming back to work, me and Mrs. Stubb went to just reconnoitre the place and just check everything would be okay and I'd be all right going around. And we walked in the venue, and it was like a May lunchtime, and just looking at the architecture, and you just think, what a place this is.
What a place.
And it's completely empty. There's no board up and there's no stage. Yeah. But even so, as Barry Hearn said about the Circus Tavern, I walked in, I can smell money. I walk in there, I can smell darts.
That's glorious. I love that.
I walk in the Winter Gardens, I think, this is darts.
Yeah.
And I felt about the same way the Circus Tavern. It was brilliant. And Ali Pally is creeping up that way now.
There's been a whisper that Barry Earner's alluded to maybe a possible change of venue for Ali Pali if it becomes this big. Do you envisage a change or not? Or would you like to see a change? Would you like to see a change or not?
I like it there, but I'm a bit of an old sentimentalist. You know, I'm very sort of traditional. I just get into whatever environment it is, and I just feel this is great. And I like the Alexandra Palace is a great venue, but it's got character, hasn't it?
Well, I never.
You drive up that hill, or you walk up the hill, and you see that big window, the stained glass window with the dartboard that's superimposed on it. You go in the Great Hall with the window, and you just think, what a venue! This has got character. Now maybe they can move to that Great Hall. There was some suggestion about that. I don't know. It's a much bigger hall than the one we play in.
Oddly
so
enough,
that could be possible.
I never used to like it. And bearing in mind, I've lost in every World semi-final that I've ever been in, of course, but I've lost in World semi-finals in 3 different venues. And I would say that the Ali Pali.
Do you actually fear that James Wade will break the record for losing in more semi-finals in the PDC without actually winning one that you currently hold? And the record that they said was unbeatable. You know, they said Roger Bannister would never run the 4-minute mile. They said that Wayne Mardle would never lose his record for losing more semi-finals than anyone. But Wade, he keeps creeping up.
He does. But
and luckily for you, he's never got to a semi-final in recent years.
It's getting more and more difficult. Right. Where I was going with this is that I've lost at the Lakeside, I've lost at Ali Pali and the Tavern.
Yeah.
I find the size of Ali Pali just not intimate enough for me. It's only for me. I like the intimacy of. I like all that. And if it was to get bigger, I feel like the crowd have got less of an impact.
Yeah.
Now the paying audience.
Do you feel it would end up like a Premier League night?
The paying audience. They are the paymasters. The PDC just hold the money. That's what they do, and then pay it out. That's how I see the paying public are what drive the sport. I would hate for it to become the players there and the punters there.
Yeah.
I don't want it to get any bigger. But if it gets huge and there's 5 million up for grabs, I get the growth. But I'm a bit of a traditionalist as well. I want it to be.
Do you think?
I want it to be done right.
Paying the winning player $1 million, 2 million, 5 million matters, apart from the individual that trousers the money. Did it bother you if you were playing? Like if I said to you, when you're playing for the World Championship, did you even know what you were playing for? What prize money it was? Or was it, I want to be the world champion?
Right, you hear this quite often, and I can tell you what, right, this dart is, you hear it in commentary, you've probably said
X.
it, I've probably said it.
Yeah.
This dart is worth 100,000, 200,000, 300,000.
Yeah.
Not a clue.
Yeah.
You will not have a clue.
Yeah.
You'll know that this is to win. Right, what comes from winning is the money, is the trophy, is the accolades, is this, that and the other. But
you don't start playing.
You can't think.
You don't start playing darts hoping to win money, do you? Because you want to win the. When you're in,
I didn't pick up a dart to earn a pound.
No, when you're chucking a dart down your local pub when you were 14, you in your head you'd be going, this double 16 for the World Championship. Yeah, you know, we've all done that.
Look, I never got there. I don't want to talk about it.
No. Look,
don't want to talk.
No. Look, what I can say here to empathise is that it upsets me now. Because I remember when you lost that game against the man that we call the darting Voldemort, because his name shall never be mentioned.
Who's that?
He who shall not be named. He will not be
Kirk
named.
Shepherd.
He who will not be named. Voldemort.
If you're watching Kirk, enjoy, pal.
But I remember seeing you after the match, and you were sat outside the PDC media room, and I thought, what a wally! How did he manage to lose that match? But now it upsets me because I know how much it would have meant to you.
Well, it would have meant a bit.
And I
put it this way, I won't be here doing this.
No,
I'll be too big time. I'll be charging fortunes.
I wanted you to win now more than you did.
Yeah.
But but you wouldn't be the same bloke, would you?
No.
You'd have been a completely different bloke.
I'd have been unbearable as a world champion.
No, you might have ended up doing this, but you might not. And
I wouldn't have given you the time.
So who's to say it was a bad thing or not?
I would not give you the time of day.
Well,
a fun chat, Rodri. Thank you very much for your time,
My pleasure.
Now, what we want to do is a 9-dart challenge.
Right.
Score as many as you can in 9 darts. Attack that board 9 times. I think Michael Smith is top of the leaderboard.
Who's bottom, more pertinently?
Bottom is Emma Payton.
Is it really?
I think it was a pathetic score as well. I'm talking like in the 60s, I think. I'm not sure.
That might
I'm not
still
sure.
be too many.
Now, 9 darts to beat 60 odd. Call it 70. You can do that.
Right. Attack it.
Attack! Rodri, 9 dart challenge, 9 darts. You've got
Attack.
to beat Emma Payton's total. She loved that. She got 67, I think.
Yes.
Right, ready?
Yeah.
Yes, 24 as a start. What a start.
You know when they want 48 and they aim at 8 or 16, so that's my strategy.
Is that what you did?
Yeah, see,
Do it again.
I think like a pro, I just can't throw like one.
Do it again.
6.
It's all right.
6.
30 in total.
30.
Oh, 44. That's a cracking start.
It's not bad.
Cracking start.
You'd think that
44. 51. Oh,
16.
67.
Right.
Just get it on the board.
Anywhere on the
get
board.
Get it on the board. Get it on the board.
Anywhere on the board.
Aim for the balls.
And the Peyton Express is derailed.
Yes! 84 for Rodri Stud.
I've got 3 to come on now.
What?
I've got 3 to come on now. Yeah.
Oh.
You said 9, not 6.
I couldn't believe you
So
first.
I'm so good, you're
I couldn't
surprised.
believe your first visit. 87. 91. 94 even.
Yeah. 87%. Did you play that?
Terrible.
You know when you
Well, I normally used to take away, to be fair.
you know when you criticise Jose de Souza's counting?
This is terrible. You scored 108.
Wow.
108, Mab.
Let's see what you could have won.
That is a cracking effort.
It's not bad.
Cracking effort. Congrats, Emma. Emma. You're bottom. Rodri, you are not an honorary member of Club 501, hosted by me, Wayne Mardle. Mardle, thank you. Until you sign the Wall of Fame.
There's some famous names here, isn't there?
There is. Do you want to plonk it there?
So let's add an infamous one. Yes, I'll sign.
Done with confidence.
Wow, that's
Matt,
good. I mean, look at all these people.
Thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.
It's been an absolute
I've enjoyed
gem.
it. It's been a great thrill to be on.
Thank you. Thank you for watching Club 501, brought to you by William Hill. For all the latest episodes, all the latest competitions, and the fun to be had, please like and subscribe to the channel. Remember, over 18s only, please gamble responsibly.